Dynowarz. Remember when it was cool to end words with a Z? I still do it too, don't worry. Spondylus, though, is an actual word. In the game, it's the name of a distant solar system, but here in our own solar system, a spondylus is a genus of bivalve mollusks, known as spiny oysters, and their shells look like these. I can kind of see why you'd name a solar system after one of these, as the spines sort of appear as distant objects protruding outward from a central star or sun, right? Anyway, let's dig in. Dynowarz alternates between space gravity platformer and side-scrolling Robosaur beat-em-up. The game starts off as the platformer where you control Professor Proteus, who must scour the planets of the Spondylus system and his Robosaur named the Cyberosaurus to destroy the virus-infected life support computers and wipe out other Robosaurs along the way. The theme of the whole thing is kind of fun. It's a little different than usual. How often do you get to be a robot dinosaur fighting other dinosaurs? I mean, other than here, not often. When platforming, the jumping takes a little getting used to. The trick is to jump first and then guide the character once in the air. Your weapon is a gun that shoots in 3 directions, which is handy with all the flying enemies you encounter. You'll be bombarded by bullets and enemies in each room, but thankfully your character is rather resilient, so you don't take a ton of damage. The things that get you are the spikes you can fall on or the gaps you can fall in. When you get to the end of these stages, you shoot at this neural-looking blob that is shooting at you. After that, nothing happens. The first time I played, I wasn't sure what to do. I shot and explored every corner of the room, worried the game had frozen, but turns out, you have to turn around and exit the laboratory the way you came. The enemies are gone, but you run the risk of still falling to your death and repeating the whole level over again, so no pressure. The other half of the game takes place out on the planet's surface, with you inside the Cyberosaurus. It feels heavy and slow and isn't very responsive or nimble, but maybe that's what you'd expect from a big metal dinosaur. You start with just a punch attack, but you can pick up other weapons that you can upgrade, like one where you throw your fist, a fireball, a bomb, a laser beam. The tricky thing is that it's difficult to tell what each of the weapon drops are. It's preferable to have the fireball or maybe the laser, as these shoot straight across the screen. The bomb is the one you want to avoid most. It takes a while to learn what these different drops are and what they look like. You might accidentally pick up one you don't want, and now you're stuck with something you don't like. The enemies are dispatched rather easily though, with the gaps being the biggest nuisance, especially when they stick a mine right on the edge of the hole. Enemies a lot of times will just pass right through you, and you have to create some distance to shoot and damage them. All in all, the game is fairly simple and short, with only 7 stages, but it is a little repetitive. If you're looking for something you can complete in a single sitting, maybe as a quick pick up and play, or maybe you have a smaller kid who likes dinosaurs and wants to play with you, you can play the aggravating platforming stages while the kid bounces around and fights off all the dinosaurs. They won't need to do anything but mash attack and jump over spikes and gaps anyway. Infinite continues are your friend. Well, that does it for Dynowarz, the Destruction of Spondylus. There were no follow-ups, sequels, ports, or any games even tangentially related to this one of a kind platformer. So, thanks for watching.